And also one important question that often comes up is how important is math in game development? Do you have to be a math genius?
Ooh, I get this one all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely more important than in app development, right? Because at least you have to work a little bit with physics and stuff like that. So you need some basic math.
Sure. You need like, human math. And when I say that, I mean like when you get up, when you stand up, you know that you're exerting force to stand up, right? You turn, okay, I'm rotating technically. These things that we, again, naturally do, like the way our minds naturally work in three-dimensional space, is almost all you need because, well, especially with something like Unity, because Unity wraps a lot of their math into classes that you can use. So you don't need to know vector. I mean, it helps to know vector math, like the basics of it, but like all that, anything complicated can be looked up online, or like, you can take a small course or read a book, but like that's really if you like it. Like I've never had to struggle through like, going and learning, like taking a class just for game development for math. Like everything, especially in Unity, that you do in real life, they've made it very, intuitive, with a lot of their stuff that they offer. That's, they kind of hide the crazy math and they say, well, what do you want to do? Say, well, I want to create a 3D, a dot.
Yeah.
Say, okay, well, from your, middle school, Cartesian coordinates, that takes an X and a Y in 2D and a Z in 3D. Great. Put in 3 numbers and it creates a point for you. There's not, when you get into things like, well, I want, the player to always, or the enemy to always look at the player, or I want the camera to do something like, to be offset and kind of hover all the time. That kind of stuff, again, is totally out there, right? Like now, like it wasn't 10 years ago, but it's, those kind of solutions and, things that you can learn like that are definitely readily available online. So I don't think math should scare people, because it scared me when I first started. I don't think, and I was a limiter. Don't let game math scare you. You already do it every day.
I actually had what's the second worst grade in school in math in in English? In Germany, it's
A
a
D.
5. Okay, in Germany,
Oh, it's a D.
Germany we
It's
have
a
numbers.
D.
Yeah, I had a D in math actually, but because I was too lazy to do any work there, doesn't necessarily mean that you are really that bad in math.
No, I mean, I know a few people that have come to me and been like, I hated math, but I understand, 3D math.
Yeah.
I hate, like, I can't do calculus, but like, hey, like rotations and axes and, points in space make really good sense to me.
And it's also
Great.
important if you're interested in the stuff you're learning. This makes a world's difference if you're actually interested in this kind of stuff. So if you want to build games and you're naturally curious about this, then it will also come more naturally to you than sitting in a boring math class in school.
Exactly. And like you learn along the way. By the time you've built your first kind of throwaway prototype, you'll know a lot more math than you think you did. Like just inherently from working with a 3D engine, you'll kind of amaze yourself at how much you know from real life.
Yeah, and they also, as you already said, Unity, they try to make it understandable for humans. So you don't have to create everything from scratch. You have stuff like gravity and this kind of stuff out of the box already. You just have to enable it basically. And then you can set stuff like gravity and friction, and this is you don't have to write the calculations for everything from scratch. I mean, you probably can if you want, but it's easy to get started with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything like you said, the physics system is very involved, but it's also very accessible. Like you don't need to know the physics system in Unity in and out to start. You just, they have everything for moving and rotating and, do, like you said, setting gravity and setting animations, and everything is available, and you can go as deep as you want, which is, the nice part.
So basically when you, for example, what I also saw in my beginner tutorial, when you just place stuff on the screen, it will, of course, float in the air. But then you can put a rigid body component on it and you tell Unity this is supposed to be a physical object. And then it starts falling down and having gravity.
And then exactly. Yeah, so, Unity's very smart. They've done a lot of work in the engine. So the way they use, their component system, like you said, you just attach something and all of a sudden it acts completely differently. But it acts the way you would think an object would act with gravity.